Hi, good afternoon. My name is Obin Najex. We're continuing on things that teachers should not do in the classroom. Okay. Now, what is important that, like I keep explaining, it's important that we know that there's a difference between being qualified as a teacher and the art of teaching. Some teachers are qualified, but they go into the classroom and they make the mess of the teaching profession, based on how they don't observe the things they should observe or how they do the things they are not supposed to do. Okay, so for today, I'm going to mention a couple of things to add to the ones we have already mentioned. We are going to discuss 30 things. We're discussing 30 things teachers should not do, so we're going to continue until we get to the end. Okay, so for today, the teacher is not supposed to argue with the learners. Please, if you're a teacher and you are always, or most times, you're tempted to argue with your learners, or you have been arguing with your learners, you have to stop that. A teacher is supposed to show a level of leadership when you are teaching. Sometimes you get to teach children that believe that they know some things, and the way you're explaining it may not be the way they know it, and they want to put up an argument. You are not supposed to engage in an argument with your learners. That will be completely wrong. There's a difference between conversation and this argument, discussion and argument. So you need to be able to differentiate. You need to know when a discussion is now becoming an argument, so that you'll be able to stop it. In fact, part of the things you need to set as goal in your class is to discourage argument. Argument does not eventually, most times, does not end well. You can allow for conversation, you can allow for them to disagree with you, sometimes ask you questions, but never come to the point where you argue with them. Number two is that teachers are not supposed to make simple things complex. Some teachers, they want to show that they are very knowledgeable. So the way they show it is that they bring simple things and they bring big terms. They use big terms to explain simple things. And then when you finish, you end up confusing your learners. You are not supposed to do that. All you're supposed to do, in fact, what makes you an efficient and effective teacher is that you can pull out something that is very big, that looks very big and ambiguous, and you can compress it and make it very simple, so that the children can understand it firsthand. That's what makes you a good teacher. So it's not about how you take simple things, simple explanation you should just give to your learners, and then you're not making it a big problem, and then they are more confused, than when you started. So you need to learn how to take big things and make it simple, and not take simple things and make it big. Number three is that as a teacher, you're not supposed to be short-tempered. Being a short-tempered person is a very dangerous thing, because the art of teaching is frustrating. Children are terrible sometimes. Okay, so they do things that will surprise you. Okay, now if you're somebody who does not know how to manage their anger, you will just be losing your anger, yourself, and then that frustration will show. Now remember, as a teacher, that you're a role model. Okay, a role model to the children you are teaching. Now imagine that the children you are teaching, that you're a role model to them, and then they are looking up to you as somebody who is their whatever, and then now you are losing your control. You're out of control. You're short-tempered. You are shouting. You want to kill everybody because of something somebody must have done in the class, or say in the class, or whatever. The teacher should be able to learn how to manage themselves and not allow themselves to be out of control. The next for today is that the teacher should not be too friendly. You should not be too friendly. Once you become too friendly to a learner in your class, you're going to be partial. Now, let me tell you that there's nobody that wants to feel comfortable disciplining or punishing their friends. If you have a child that you're not too friendly with, definitely you're going to compromise discipline. You're going to find a way to patch things up, to make things right with the person, because that person is your friend, or you're becoming too friendly with the person. If they fail exam, you want to help them to pass. If they are not doing well, you have to cover it. Do not do that, because if you do that, that will end up not auguring well for you in the classroom. Teachers should not, we have mentioned about loss of, should not have a short-tempered teacher. Now, a teacher is a role model. You model yourself before the children. Whatever you want the children to become, you start showing them. That's what is important as a teacher. Whatever you want the children to become, you show them, and then they see it from you, they learn it from you, they go home and they want to do it. Now, let me leave you with these final words. You know that children, if you're a teacher, you agree with me that most times your learners believe you more than their parents, particularly those small ones in grade school. If you tell your learner something, they believe you. If they go home and their parents are trying to say things the way you didn't say, they argue with their parents. Now imagine when you are in front of your children, you are saying the wrong things, you're teaching the wrong things, you're having wrong attitudes. They go home and think that this is good. If my teacher is doing it, then I should do it. So a teacher should be very careful so that they don't do things in the class they're not supposed to do and then eventually end up destroying the lives of their learners. Thank you for today. We're going to continue tomorrow to discuss on 30 things that teachers should not do in the classroom. Bye.